Silver, we start with the daily chart. Okay, as we can see, based on daily chart, the price have broke the top. All right. And if you refer back, if you refer to the MACD, we'll have divergence and as well the under one. We know the question is, how are we going to look at this? Whether this is the start of the up move or not. And one of the option we are more interested if this is a correction in relative to this for the next move down. Because if we get any sell, it can, in terms of the risk and reward, it can give us a really good trade. Okay, even in last week we were looking for this, but based on lower time frame, we will explain why we didn't get it, and we didn't have any trade set up as well for sell. And now the only thing is we need to look into this continuation or reversal. If there is a reversal, we can give us in terms of the risk and reward, it can give a very good trade, but it doesn't mean the price can, 100% can reverse. Okay, in this case, we move to lower time frame forward chart. We see how we can trade. Based on lower time frame, we don't have any information, and sharply move, and we can see reversal. Okay, now the thing is, if we refer like based on daily chart, I point on this part. Okay, when the price was here, when we see this move, we mentioned that if we want to look for sell, the better the price come, break the top before we look for sell. And as we can see, the price sharply move, it give a correction. That's mean when we see this one, there was no trade set up. Okay, for sell, everything was buy, and there was opportunity to look for buy from this. Okay, now the thing is, but we didn't expect the price to move this high, because we were expecting, based on our analysis, that the price can break the top a bit higher, then from there we get the reverse. But now everything's have changed. Okay, and as I explained, based on daily chart. No, based on forward chart, we don't have any trade setup here. If we want to get the trade setup, we need to get the correction. If we want to look for buy, in this case, we move to lower time frame, 1 hour chart. We see how we can trade it. Okay. Again, we don't have any trade setup. Now the thing is how deep this one can go. Whether, as I explained, based on the daily chart, this is the one can give us the trade to, and the price can drop and retest this low or not. Okay, if we talk about the daily chart, we want to see whether the price can, this is the one, can continue and retest this low or not. Okay, now how we can trade it? As I say, there is no trade setup, but now how we can look for buy or for sell? Okay, if we want to look for buy, the best things, we get the correction here, at least for one move up, the price drop, get the flat for the next move up, similar to what we have here, at least. Okay, 1 2 3, at least we get any move before we look for buy. Okay, is there any possibility the price sharply can reverse from here? Okay, if the price we see the sharply reverse, at least we need to get any sharp small correction flag before we look for buy. And if we didn't get, we don't buy it. And if the price sharply reverse, break the top, any correction above the top, we can trade it. Okay, now as I say, if you want to look for buy for long term, we need to get at least the correction flat. Or if the price sharply reverse, we see how we can get the trade within this range based on lower time frame of 1 hour chart. If not, we see there is no trade setup, let the price break the top, then from there we make a, if we get the correction, we can look for buy. Okay, now, and this means we don't have any buy setup, and the only thing is we need to know how we can trade, what we will get here. But can we get the sell setup? And if we get the sell setup, I mentioned we are more interested in the sell, and as we can see the price drop, we have this move. Can we expect for the next move we get a flat here, correction for the next move down? If we get, we are more interested in the sell. That means if the price start to move up, whether sharp or there's a correction, even the price, there is a possibility this one come at least to test this low. It depends whether we get this flat, how high it can go, whether it can come to this level or not, even give it just same length as what we have here. Okay, what I want to say, any correction here, we can look for sell. It depends how high it can go. Okay, and the reason I say it depends how high it can go, we need to see if the prices start to move like this, whether we can get a trade set up or we have to have entry below this. Okay, but right now we don't have anything. The only thing is we need to see whether we can get the trade or not. Can we have entry below this? If we get another 2 to 3 hours, we get a small correction. We can trade by having entry below this. But what we expecting, price sharply to drop. That's mean if you want to have a trade based on entry, if the price drop, tag, but is not moving, like after 1 or 2 hours, the price you have entry below here. If the price sharply, if the price tag we see is not moving, we take out the trade. What we want a breakout and continuation. Okay. Anyway, now if you want to trade for sell for today, if we get any correction here, we will look for sell. Okay. And rather than that, we don't have any trade setup. In this case, we just follow the chart and see how we can trade it. But for long term, if anyone wants to buy, look for buy, we need to get the big correction. Okay. Anyway, we don't have any trade setup. If we just follow the chart, we see whether we can get a trade setup or not. Thanks.